Good morning. This is the first lecture in course English Technical Writing. The course is very important for technical students. It teaches you how to write a report, how to write a scientific writing, how to make a presentation, how to make a effective presentation for your student, for your colleagues, and for the instructor. Thank you. We will start this lecture by reviewing the overall contents which will be discussed during this course. Starting with an introduction to English technical writing, and then how to write and the style of scientific writing, then writing a laboratory report and a research report, then how to make a literature review and how to make a presentation. These are the main topics which will be discussed during this course. I hope that you will be benefited from this course. Thank you. In this slide, we will illustrate the importance of English technical writing. This is a practical way to how you communicate technical information in writing. Writing means in written form, verbal form, and visual form. And it is commonly used or done through reports, theses, journal papers, and books. For English technical writing, there are rules, standards, and formats which are commonly used in presenting this written information or visual information or verbal information. Now we will ask what is technical writing and why we study technical writing. Actually, technical writing is used to report information which is serious information and different from other types of writings such as creative writing and other types. It has also a different style for writing. Why? Because we are, as scientists and engineers, needs to transfer and communicate our findings to the others in writing form, which is verbal or pictorial or visual form. Voice. Our technical writing has to be objective because we rely information and this information are facts only, so this is objective writing. Adding opinion may cloud this information and prevent the others from understanding this information. Technical writing are often serious documents that much depends on them, because the author rely information about facts and events that happened during the experiment through facts, reporting facts. He does not rely his opinion, except only in the case of unexplained event. He must say that this is his explanation to this event. And in this case, he has to rely his opinion, an educated opinion, to the audience. Technical document don't contain the following words such as I, you, we, because we rely information about events that have already happened. The tense of the document of the report mainly is past tense, or in some cases we present some kind of future tense. This is the time for the what is going to happen. If we are going to explain something that is yet to happen, we must explain it in future tense. In this slide, we will talk about, we'll start chapter 2, and we will talk about writing scientific report. We will elements of structure of a scientific report. The structure of scientific report consists of number of elements. These elements are title page, table of contents, abstract, introduction, materials and methods, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. The first element in the structure of a scientific report is the title page. The title page consists of number of sections. First, the title of the report, and this slide describes the size and the length of the title. Also, in another section of the page, the authorship, where the name of the authors is included, and their addresses if possible. The third part is the date, where the date of the paper is produced or submitted. Other information may be added to the first page. Table of contents. It is a listing of the main headings of the document. Table of contents is required for the length report. It includes detailed information the author wants to convey, such as abstract, nomenclature, chapters, chapter sections, references, and appendices. The chapters and chapter sections make the body of the document. The nomenclature is a tabulated listing of the variables and their unit used in this document. The abstract section is an informative summary of what you have done in the document. It should include the following: first, objectives; second, brief reference to the material and methods; 3, summary of the results and conclusions; and you may include hypothesis if there is some of the hypothesis made before the experiment. The following should not be included in the abstract: literature citations, formulas and abbreviations, references to tables should not be included in the abstract. Although the abstract is written first in the document, it is best to write it last. The next section of the scientific report structure is the introduction. which is summary of the analysis to be undertaken in this report, and the purpose of the introduction is to put the reader in place and in picture about the experiment within the report. The following may be included in the introduction, which is background. Number 2, brief review of the previous research, and reasons why we do this research, a statement of the hypothesis about this research. These are some data which must included in the report. In addition to this, the introduction should include an explanation of the different techniques and ways that may be used in this experiment, and the statement of objectives of the report. Some data which must not be included in the introduction. The introduction also must include an explanation of different techniques that may be used in this report, and also a statement of the objectives of this report. Also, the introduction has to answer some questions like, what was the purpose of the objective? Why was the experiment or the research conducted? Why it is important why it is important? The introduction should not include any results or conclusion. Materials and methods summarizes what's called an experimental work done during the procedure of experiment. Methods such as things must include things such as sample size, equipment used, experimental conditions, concentration, times, controls, etc. You do not need to write all the procedures in details, just an idea about how you did your experiment. The results section states what you have found during your experiment. The results section includes pictures and spectra, tables and graphs, brief statement of the results. It also may include comment about the results. In the results section, if there is a massive quantities of data, it has to be written in an appendix. The results section also includes your own results. You do not include any other results from other references or what you expected to find. Also, in the results section, discussion can be done in the discussion section. The sentences in the results section should be written in a past tense and passive voice, avoiding the use of I and we. The discussion section, you may compare your results with others published in literature. You also can describe the possible sources of errors if there is, and how you avoid these errors in the future. Also, the discussion answers the question, what do the results mean? You have to explain your findings to the readers. Conclusion section, you describe your argument and your experiment and you relate back to the introduction in the beginning. Also, the conclusion should only consist of few sentences, not a very long part. It is a very short part. Also, you may suggest how to improve your results and procedure in this section as a future work. In the reference section, you need to cite every reference you have used during your writing introduction and during discussion. You need to format these references according to the style which will be explained sometime later. Also, you need to be careful about spelling author names while writing the names in your references. Appendices. The appendix contains the information which is important for the document, though in most cases it is secondary important to the purpose of the document. For instance, tabulations of scientific data, detailed calculations, and similar materials are often good for the document, but not very important for the document, and it is not included in the body of the document. Sometimes you may write a scientific report for an employer or client. This report must include covering letter or memo. Number 2, identification of the report topics, identification of the person authoring the report, key findings in the report, and acknowledgement for any assistance received throughout the preparation of the report. If the scientific report is being written for a client or employers, it includes executive summary, which is situated before the abstract. The executive summary explains the purpose of the report, describe the methods used in the investigation, give the main conclusions and recommendations. Because the reader of this report may not be a scientist, it has to be written in simple language, avoiding the very difficult technical languages. The recommendation section is written after the conclusion and will contain the recommendations made by the report on the basis of the scientific results obtained. Acknowledgement. If other people helped during the preparation of the report, they should be thanked at the end of the document. The main components of a simple technical report: title page, abstract, table of contents, nomenclature, references, and appendices. All these elements are explained before and they have the same meaning.